Hello, my friends, esteemed colleagues, family. Here we are back again on Soyence and salt and Aajonus or Aajonus, whatever you want to pronounce, however you want to pronounce his name. Now, why we are going there? Because many people that have adopted the carnivore diet, when they're by listening to Aajonus, and his explanations of how we should eat, what we should eat to be healthy. And although his proposals of eating raw carnivore is correct, many other things that he proposes are influenced by Soyence and are wrong. And one that becomes bothersome is his views on salt. And I received a short video excerpt about his views on Soyence of salt, stating that salt is a rock. Salt is a rock. You cannot digest rocks. Well, again, it's a childish approach. Why? Because at the same time, you can say, well, iron doesn't float. It sinks. It's heavier than water. You cannot make boats out of iron. Well, obviously you can, because there is a particular physics behind it, certain laws of physics. Well, same is with salt, same is with minerals. If we ignore science, we are ignoring laws that govern our reality. Unfortunately, the science, the laws that govern our reality, the way we have been indoctrinated to believe, are incorrect, are mingled. They go through Kabbalah and they are misrepresented. We are being misinformed. We are being indoctrinated into believing lies. And the biggest lies that affects us the most in medical science is the science of salt. What salt does in a body and how much salt the body should have. All this is mingled and misrepresented, and the conclusion is wrong, and we keep avoiding salt. Now, it says that every time we eat salt, we are destroying our red blood cells because it dehydrates them, so it kills them. There are always interpretations done. Well, you see, if you want to dry the ham, if you want to make prosciutto, you take the ham, the shoulder of pork, of pig, and rub salt in it and let it sit. The salt absorbs, and then since salt absorbs moisture, it will suck the moisture out of the meat, including the cells, and this dries it up. It brings the water, the plasma, out of the meat, So the same is when you take it in the mouth, this is going to happen. Well, but we are ignoring the systems that govern the body. And the salt that you take in doesn't stay packed in a tissue. The salt that you take in, it gets diluted in the plasma of the body. And before it even hits the bloodstream, it goes through a set of lymph nodes, and it's being eliminated if possible. So what you absorb in your gut does not necessarily go into the blood. Part of it may be returned right back into intestine as being not desirable for the body. And then what it comes into the blood, it goes into filtration system, it goes to kidneys, it goes to check in the kidney, everything goes into glomerule, which is this reactor, and then from there, what body needs will be reabsorbed. There are mechanisms that control absorption, will be absorbed, and the surplus and undesirable elements will be filtered into the urine. So when you take more salt, your urine becomes saltier. But to state that salt is going to be sucking the liquid out of your red blood cells and killing them and out of your tissue, well, this is incorrect. Because blood is always salty. Blood has to be salty, otherwise you die. And the salinity is approximately 9 grams of salt per 1 liter of blood. And recommendation in the Cell Healers Protocol is to take about 10 grams, anywhere from 6 to 10 grams, and you are going to be bringing in the plasma that you are losing by urination or sweating or defecation. Because you lose plasma all the time. You don't lose water, you lose plasma. Now, saying that salt is inorganic and that because of this fact, the body cannot use it, and it is going to, crystallize in the body, and it is going to do damage. This is a big baloney. This is, again, childish thinking. Because there is no such a thing as organic or inorganic particle. Because the design of our reality is created in quantum field. Quantum field is a field of pure energy. In this quantum field, all you have as manifestation is energy that created by sacred geometry, and the quantum manifestations of it are magnetism, electric current, and light. Nothing else. And light in a waveform, like a sunlight. So you see sunlight, if you look at the sun, you're going to see nothing but sunlight. To create anything else, well, you have to turn this waveform of light into particle. Well, this is not done in quantum field. For this, you already need what we call observer, or I call it creator, which is the brain. And the double slit experiment, which in my opinion is the most important experiment ever conducted, it shows us that unless you have creator or observer, nothing happens. Absolutely nothing. You have to have observer to create this. Which means the creator itself, the consciousness, cannot do this without observer, without us, without the brain. Now, particle then becomes the light which creates the mosaic of our visual experience. But not every frequency becomes a visual experience. Some frequency come in a form of taste and smell or emotion. So they are not particles. They are waves. They are electromagnetic waves of particular frequencies. The systems that govern our reality are programs. We are programmed to process certain frequencies and manifest them through our sensors. Eyes produce the particles, convert light into particles so you can see the picture. Actually, third eye does it. Your eyes are just mirrors to reflect it back to you. So this is why even if the mirror gets foggy, you get cataracts and you cannot see nothing because it's foggy, you can still see with your third eye. And many people can do it. And now they are training some children. Even though they can see, they are training them to operate normally, to ride bicycle and play games with blindfolds to use the third eye. So then if they lose eyes, it doesn't matter. They can still see with the third eye, perfectly clear, and much better, because then you can travel in the universe. You are not dependent on the mirrors and thinking that the mirror image is the reality. Nothing else is reality. You know, we are going here very, very deep into a rabbit hole. And many people are not capable to understand any of this, what I'm talking about. But hopefully, you that follow my work, slowly, like learning to play piano, you are getting better and better at it, at understanding the construct of our universe, our reality, ourselves. And anything can be changed from one form into another form if a frequency shifts. Now, you can shift the frequency by using another frequency to act upon it, or you can shift the frequency by blanketing it, by putting resistors there and resist it to go through. It weakens and you can shift it. And this is why we can morph from one state to another state. And religious people that, let's say, Catholics, Christians that read the Bible, so they're very much familiar with the situation where, again, I've forgot the names of personalities because I really don't buy into this religious stuff. But there's a lot of truth being said at events that occur. Only explanation of the events is being hijacked to serve a different purpose. But it is explained that when Sodom and Gomorrah were being destroyed, they were destroyed with particular frequency. They burst to flame. And then people that were allowed to flee as chosen ones, they're not being corrupted. They can go, but they were instructed, do not look at the light, because you are going to turn to stone. And whoever turns to look from nostalgia, to look what is happening with Sodom and Gomorrah, all of a sudden turn into stone. Now, every Catholic is familiar with this story. How many of you guys believe it is really true? And how could it happen? Oh, God, oh yeah, God, He can do anything. Yeah, definitely. Creator can do anything because it understands it. But this was not done by Creator. This was done already by higher consciousness souls that created this. I was told that there were 4 souls that created this reality. If it's true or not true, I don't really care. It doesn't change anything. It was created by some soul of the consciousness. Well, how could a living, breathing being all of a sudden turn into rock? Well, shift of frequency. Something shift. In this case, it was the frequency that did the shift was transmitted through light. So if you look there, you have the mirror image, the light coming back to you, and the frequency, and all of a sudden you turn into stone. Now, is it possible? Well, my friend Daniel sent me a video, and in this video, he showed me his experiment by putting a protein. I think he used a stone and put a microscope there, and he shows how protein all of a sudden turns into crystals. Okay, so I will show you this. Okay, here Daniel shows that protein that he put on limestone starts turning into crystals. You see this thing here? That's a crystal. You see? Those are crystals. These are crystals. You see this? Crystals. Those are crystallized protein. Within minutes after he placed it on limestone and water, he noticed the protein shifting and turning into crystals. The whole thing is going to crystallize. Okay, so this is amateur showing how protein turns into crystal. Well, we have another amateur. We have a Roger from Mud Fossil University. And he is showing how caves, some caves actually are body parts of giants. Some rocks you find in the river could be organs, crystallized organs of creatures, animals, or even humans of those days. Well, here, I'll show it to you. So here we have a rock formation. What does that look like? It reminds you of something? All right? Then we have another ones. What does this look like? Does it remind you of something? Okay? Here is from a distance. Does it remind you on something? This is the interior. This is exactly the interior of vagina, but in a rock form. I'm just trying to show you here if I have other formations.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
this is undeniable. It's undeniable to any thinking human being. And again, backed up by the text, undeniable. Undeniable. The linea alba, undeniable. A baby being forced out the side of the wall, nobody carves that in it. The stuff I am showing is undeniable.
Here you have a human in a stone, like a sculpture. Actually, this is not a sculpture. It is a crystallized human. If you start breaking layer from layer, you are going to find layers of tissue within it. There was another one, let me just see. Okay, here is another one that was, used for some other purpose also, but here, there was a guy. This is a crystallized man. Here you have a rock cut and shown that inside this is a heart with crystallized even blood. Depending on a crystal, depending on frequency, you have a different crystal. So you have a precious crystals here. But this is crystallized blood. There is no such a thing as organic or inorganic element. Everything is just frequency. That is then, according to programming, it is manifested. This is all manifestation. So, you are welcome to check Matt Fossil University on YouTube. Very interesting stuff. He explains everything. And only what Roger cannot explain is how that happens. Well, I'm explaining how it works. Now, the change of frequency we can achieve by interfering with another frequency on it. And what carries the frequency? How does frequency travel in our reality? Well, it can be transmitted through light because frequency is expressed through our senses. So depending on what sensors we have. So we have sensor for light, our eyes. We have sensors for taste buds. That's a frequency. We have a sensor for pressure, touch. Something is soft, hard. Those are frequencies expressed in this manner. We have a sensors for pain. It's a frequency and a sensor that will convert this frequency into sense of pain or emotion. This is another reason why I say that everybody who says that God is love is mistaken, because love is emotion. For emotion, you need sensor. And Creator does not have sensors. The ultimate creator, the consciousness, does not have sensors. It has created a robot with senses, so through it, it can experience the creation. So, many people ask, what is our purpose? And we elaborate, what purpose is this for life? Is this, is that? There's only one purpose, is to experience the creation. That's the only purpose for everybody's existence. And through experiencing it, we are sending back the information, back to the Creator, to the consciousness, which gathers more information through our experiences, and it can create more elaborate games using our experiences as a guideline. And this is why sometimes, the creation was not so good, and we don't like when we experience it, and we say, well, we have to deconstruct. This is what we are doing now. We are deconstructing the mistakes we have made. So, we cannot blame somebody of doing things wrong. It was an error. It's all errors. Then you can point to the error. Please, like I'm pointing to doctors, please wake up. Don't do this because you have been misguided. You misunderstand the human body. Now, if you ignore because of your ego or because of financial gain or whatever the reason is behind it, and you choose to remain doing wrong things, well, the creation will not support you, because you become the parasite. You hold the progress. So unless you give it up and switch back into the creative force, you will be eliminated. You become the disease. And this is, again, what we are doing right now. Everybody still right now has a choice and chance to, what they say in Christianity, repent, to make reflection and choose to do the right thing and go back to light, to join the light forces. It's your choice. And we should not look at these people with a wrong judging eye, because everybody serves the purpose. But if you deliberately choose not to, well, you have disconnected yourself from the life force, from the consciousness of the universe, conscious creator. And you have to be reprocessed, eliminated. So, going back into Aajonus or Aajonus and his science, well, he is just regurgitating scientific information we all receive through indoctrination process. And all this information is wrong. Everything, I wrote an article about this, and you can go and check the article on my site with the video. Everything that is said there about salt and other aspects is completely incorrect. Unfortunately, many people follow Aajonus, especially the carnivores people. And then after initial benefits that they feel, when the body starts cleansing because it is toxic and it is not having enough plasma, because Aajonus also says, oh, we should not drink water because body produces its own water. Well, cross desert, let me see how far you get with your body producing water and don't have any salt. Even Bedouins carry salt because they will not drink water without salt putting in their mouth. Otherwise they will sweat and they will waste water. Because water on its own does not serve us. It has to be in electroconductive form. It has to be in form of plasma. Because we are electrical robots. Energy is electricity that propels us. It has to flow. It doesn't flow through water unless water is turned into electroconductive state through ionization. Salts are minerals that contribute to this ionization. It is not only sodium and potassium and chloro. Those are the more abundant ones because body uses them. Body uses huge amount of chlorine. It uses huge amount of sodium because it turns it into potassium. We do not have to bring potassium. Body will produce it. But it needs sodium. You gotta bring it. And you cannot bring it to plants because plants don't have it. Not enough. It's a mineral. Yes, mineral, we see it also as a rock, big accumulation of minerals. So the plant producing acid that liquefies the rock. Liquefied rock, you have minuscule elements of minerals in there, which then you can absorb. But you don't need these acids that plant produces. You just need the liquefied mineral, which ends up in a river and ends up in a sea. Sea salt is the mineral that is created that way. But plant itself very often has very little mineral, and maybe only particular mineral that is available right there where plant is. You don't have everywhere in the soil the same construct of minerals. Actually, right now, soils are depleted of minerals, especially the agricultural, because we are not reusing manure, whatever you say it, shit, to remineralize the earth. We are using products of crude oil, nitrogen, no minerals. Plant can grow without minerals. Animal body cannot. It is full of minerals. It needs minerals, otherwise it cannot exist. This is why plants, when you look at plants, they are basically carbon structures. They are basically carbohydrates. Animals are not. They are fats, proteins, and fats. So, under certain circumstances, again, energetic circumstances, plants are most likely going to turn into carbon, coal. Animals are most likely going to crystallize. Yes, some animals can turn to carbon, and some plants can turn into crystal, particular crystal, because there is a limited amount and limited variety of crystals that is dependent on the area. But yes, it can happen under special circumstances. Again, limestone is going to help it because there is, for example, in Croatia, a national park called Plitvice, lakes of Plitvice, or waterfalls of Plitvice, and it goes through limestone, and you have trees submerge. It's a crystal clear water. But the trees submerged in there, because of the influence of limestone, have crystallized. They don't turn into charcoal, but crystal. We know also that silica is going to turn fats and proteins of the body into crystals. You drink a little solution of silica, and within 20 minutes you turn into stone. And this is proven. Okay? Ocean sedimentation of the ocean. Silica being heavy, it sits on the bottom of the sea. If the water gets very disturbed and a lot of silica goes into the water, if you drink it, you turn into stone. After the big flood, when there was a lot of disturbances, because it was not only flood, the earth actually shifted, start rotating the wrong direction, the other direction, the other direction. It created big tidal waves. Everything got stirred. And the humans, at that time giants, that were in the water and took a sip, they turned into stone. And you have, the whole planet is loaded with dead bodies of giants. Again, check Mud Fossil University. Not only giant humans, but also giant fish, giant reptiles. Every living, breathing animal, when silica was introduced in the body, turned into stone. And then those standing up, being caught in the mud and standing up, then turn into stone. Water receded, elements, waves, maybe the body was broken, fell down in time, but you have stamps of feet, of legs. Well, we call them tapuis. You have this also in Arizona, I believe, that it's like a desert and all of a sudden like one mountain stands. Well, it's not mountain, it's a part of leg. We say giant trees. Well, some of them could have been trees, but most of them are actually legs. And again, check Mud Fossil University, because he is expert in this. For years he's analyzing the stuff. And he noticed that since gold is heavy, those giants, when they were standing, gold slowly settled down by the heel of the foot. As the body was demolished, but you have the stamp, and you know it's going to be foot depending on a size of the stamp. Okay, this and many meters down is going to be bottom of the heel. Well, the arteries and veins of the heel, especially veins, because that's where it settles, they will be full of gold. These are the gold deposits that were in the blood of giants. We have gold in the blood. We know that. But we are small. These giants were huge. So a lot of blood. And when the gold settled down, well, it's a substantial amount of gold in every heel. And then the other arteries and veins through foot, you will find it. Check that work. Very interesting. Roger is a great guy. Okay? So saying that, oh, we have a life form and we have a dead form, there's no such a thing. All we have is a frequency, an illusion. And it's all run by processors and by programs and sensors. And this is the human body. Without a brain, nothing exists. Elon Musk says, well, the universe is expanding, and no matter how fast the vehicle you get, you will never reach the end of the universe, because the faster you move, the faster there is expansion. Well, why? It's our creation. You can be instantly at the edge of creation, but not through vehicle and traveling, but through manifestation. You manifest yourself there. Then you can be there. But again, takes a little bit more understanding. We are now just like a baby is discovering the truth. So we are going from a dark age of slavery directly into a university. We have skipped primary and secondary schools. Here, with what I'm proposing, we are right there in university, getting ready to actually implement the correct understanding of what reality is. So, again, everything is so intertwined that you talk about one thing, you can talk about a worm and end up talking about elephant and whale. Here, you can talk about salt and end up solving the problem of universe. Crystals are nothing more than representation of sacred geometry in three-dimensional form. And they are correctly tuned frequencies. So this way, you take salt. We say shamans use salt for cleansing. Why? Because it carries the correct frequency. So it is going to correct the frequency of the area where you place it. So you put it in your body, it's correcting frequency of your body, it's healing you. It's ultimate medicine. But you wonder why it is demonized? Well, who approves the scientific books? Cabal. They were in charge of everything. Rockefellers are in charge of medical science. So their goal is depopulation. So what do you think they are teaching doctors? How to heal or how to depopulate? And what is the most important? Salt is the most demonized. Everybody who tells you, be careful from salt, don't take salt, be limited, is brainwashed schmuck, only regurgitating Soyence that has been served with. Everyone who tells you cholesterol is bad, keep it down, is brainwashed schmuck. There's no nicer way to put it. People have to wake up. I'm not judging anyone. I'm just being disappointed that it's taking forever to wake somebody up. I'm 20 years I'm talking the same stuff. Well, not the same way, but at least last 10 years I have been going quantum and explaining more and more from a quantum point of view. Now, forget about chemistry. It's all physics. Once when you understand correctly, and then not Newtonian physics, because Newtonian physics, again, is closed physics of particles. We use particles only to help us to understand our reality, but the base of a particle is a frequency, is vibration. And you change vibration, you change the reality. And this can be easily done. Alchemistry. So as we are going along, we are learning more and more. Don't dismiss any information you hear. Let it penetrate. And then use your brain to calculate, and you will get good outcome. If you start blocking yourself from information, your brain cannot do a good job with limited information. It has to be exposed to the net. As soon as you start shielding yourself from the information, because it does not play with the information that you already have absorbed and you use to govern you, well, you're limiting yourself. If you are Catholic and the only thing you accept is what you read in the Bible and nothing else, well, you can never get to the truth because your information is limited. You need to open up. If you want to study religion, well, go. Listen what Joe wants to say about religion, what Anne wants to say about religion, what Yakamura wants to say about religion. Go to Hopi Indians, what they want to say about religion. Everyone has religious view. Nobody knows deadly squat. We only know what we believe we know. Observe. Get connected directly. Get your information directly from the field, from quantum field. We all have guides that support us, souls, spirits that support us. Ask questions, you will get the answer. Don't ask Joe Schmo because you don't know where his information comes from and why is he saying or she saying this information, what is behind, what gain they want to achieve. Go directly to source. We all have direct contact through soul all the time. Start trusting. Trust yourself. This is hard to do because we are living in fear. And when you live in fear, you grab any straw to save you, neglecting your own power. Don't worry. Have faith. Thank you for listening to my gibberish. I hope to see you back next time. Love you all. And let's continue with this marvelous discovery of truth. God bless you.